Hey everybody, Ashley here. I wanted to share with you all some of our homeschooling curriculum that we're going to be using for this coming school year. And with that, I've been homeschooling for 9 years. My oldest is in 9th grade this year, and I've changed my curriculum many times. Our basic would be that we follow a classical model of homeschooling and Charlotte Mason type. It's the easiest that I have found. I've done everything from box curriculums to private online schools. I've done it all, I feel like. And this is what I've come down to this year. And every year it does change for me. The basics are all staying the same. But now I kind of give and take. I just know what works for us, and I kind of realize that my kids learn best when I suit their needs. So at this point, we just kind of go along the lines of what do we all want to learn this year, and we make it happen. So this year, we are going to be going over the U.S. history. It's a great time to go over U.S. history. We do 3-year cycles. Most of the time we go ancient times, modern, or Middle Ages, and then modern times. So we're in modern times, we're going to do U.S. history this year. We've done ancient times we just do it every 3 years, we switch it up. So with that, there is a wonderful curriculum through TAN. It's called The Story of Civilization. I've used their program before, and this is the main book that you'll be reading. It's a chapter a week, and it's kind of story based. The kids just love listening to the stories, and it goes through the U.S. history. This is U.S. history. So I usually read this to them out loud once to twice a week to finish that chapter. While I'm reading, they are doing an activity or some sort of copy work. This is the teacher's manual. This is where it has, you have your questions and answers in it. After you're done reading your chapter to the kids, you can do your questions and answers. The other thing they have is they also have a test booklet and an activity booklet. This is, I buy one, and they have activities for all the age groups in here. So this is something that we all will do together. Aiden will have to do his own. He's in high school, but the rest of us will all do this. And I will copy off this for each one of them, and they will do this work sometimes while I'm reading the story to them. So that's our history. Our main curriculum or main set that we're going to be using it's from the Peaceful Press, and it is the Playful Pioneers. And it goes through the Laura Ingalls Wilder series, read out loud books that I will be reading to them throughout the year. And their curriculum is beautiful. It's all set out for you. It's going to be for my younger 8th grades, and it just pretty much says week by week what you should be looking at and doing. This is actually it's a PDF, and I had it printed out. This is the Playful Pioneers. This is the Parent's Guide. It tells you all the supplies you need, the books that you're going to be using, and it has it out by week as well. Bible, reading, language, arts, science are all in here. And it just goes day by day as well, what you're going to be learning about. This is kind of like my base that I'm going to do for the rest of the work. I've done the other one. It was called The Kind Kingdom, and that was for the C.S. Lewis books. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series was what we did last year. So we read all of the books last year. We learned about knights and ships and things like that. This year we're going to be learning Laura Ingalls, so it's going to be more farmsteading and plants and things and woodworking this year. So the first book, I kind of organized it into a box, into a file here. So this is going to be our first book. This is my Parent's Guide, and the first 2 weeks are read out loud books I have put in here as well. And they'll all correlate with what we're learning about, kind of the basics of U.S. history, homesteading. That's kind of the theme that we're going with. On top of it, of course, everybody has to have a language arts or a spelling or reading. And we have been doing the good and the beautiful. This is our 2nd year using it. And the reason why I have used and I still love all about reading, but we switched to this because it has everything all in one. And it just spoke to me. So each lesson in here is mapped out so beautifully. It tells you exactly what you need to do with each of your children. This is this is math, sorry. Let's go to our actual language arts. Here it is. So this is our language arts book. This is level 1. So it's mapped out. This is lesson, tells you exactly what you need to do. It has spelling, grammar, phonics, art, and reading all in one. You also have a little reader that goes with it that when you're supposed to, the kids will have independent reading throughout as well. So that's the reason why I did it. It's all in one. It's full, it's complete, and it's very well put together. So this is what I'm using for my younger kids. I'm actually using it for the first time for high school as well. Aiden will be doing it. So their literature program has about 5-6 book unit studies that they're going to be doing, and within the unit studies will be their grammar, spelling, and reading and literature all in one. And so those are unit studies. We'll see how those go for him this year. Math. So everybody has to have a math. I am doing 2 different kinds of maths this year. Actually 3 different kinds. Each kid does something different. And the reason being is because they all learn different. And my time is spent with younger kids, so some of the older ones do their own. My daughter really wanted a workbook this year instead of online math, so she's going to be doing Rod and Staff math. I've never used Rod and Staff math. I've used Saxton math, and that's pretty much what we always used to use, and I love it. My kids kind of got a little bit wanting something different, so we went to teaching textbooks, which was online, and it was easy for me because it's graded for them. The tests are there and everything's nicely printed off for me in a nice little package, and it was graded. So that's why I wanted it. We did it last year. One of them, my Avery, is going to be staying with it because he really enjoys it. Audrina did not. She wanted a workbook again, so we're back at the workbook, and so did Aiden. So Aiden's going to be doing a workbook as well. He's doing Saxon math. And then for the 2 littlest ones, I am going to be spending my time doing their math together. This is Abram's math, and this is through the Good and the Beautiful. I've never done it. It looks very similar to their language arts and the way it's set up, and so more time consuming when it comes to math for the little ones. That's why I like to have the older ones doing something that's already graded, because I need to spend time with the littler ones. But this is what I'm doing with the little ones. The older ones are going back to the workbook phase. This they can pretty much do on their own, besides a few questions here and there that they might have. I also have CDs and discs that go along with it if we have questions or concerns, or if they need to relearn something. So we will be doing those for math. So everybody has an art or language arts, everybody has a math, and then our core science and history will go along with our Playful Pioneers. So we have our TAN U.S. history, and then the science. So the science is going to be part of this, the Playful Pioneers. They kind of outline the basics of science. Like here, they're going to do moon phases and learn about farm anatomy in here. So on top of that, depending on what age group my kid is, I will be doing either making them read a chapter book about what we're learning, doing a project on what we're learning, doing more of a looking it up, depending on their age group. So the little ones, I'm not going to obviously have them do as much as I am with Audrina. Audrina will have to probably read a few more chapter books. She'll have to do a little bit more science in some of my already curriculum that I have. So I'll kind of dig out things for her to read on in each of those categories. So that's kind of the science. We just kind of pick and choose what we're doing, especially for the younger kids, and we just kind of branch off of there and read a lot of books about it. And I find that my kids learn the best when I sit there and I read them stories about items or things. If we want to learn about, we're also going to learn about bugs this year, because my kids, my younger boys, really want to learn about bugs, and I have books on bugs. So we'll just sit there and we'll read about bugs, and we'll use other things just to learn about them. I have little little, where are they? I have microscopic bugs that they can look at. I have several of these that they can talk about and look at and identify. So that's kind of how we do science. We just kind of talk about what we want to learn about, and we read a lot of books on them, and we find little things like this that I can purchase or buy that we look at and explore into. And when it comes to the older kids, sometimes it does involve like a project or an experiment. So those I will keep to the older kids, and we'll do those if need be. So that's kind of our basic curriculum. It seems pretty simple. I don't have it all put together for this year like every week yet. I'm only at like week 12. So I will be getting to do that for the rest of this week, is getting prepped because school's starting soon. And I hope that helps and understands like how we do homeschooling. And everybody does it differently. Everybody's kids are different and they learn different ways. And I've learned that over the years of doing this for 9 years, that everybody learns different. That's why we have different maths. Everybody learns a little different. And we've done many of curriculums because of it. So hope that helps. I will be linking some of the things below as well, some of the curriculum, so you can take a look at it yourself and see if it's something that's for you. And if you have questions, comment below.